In this video, I want to give you guys the 5 most common mistakes I see people make when they are chasing a Porsche. Over the past several years, I've had the privilege of consulting with a number of people who are searching for their first or their 5th Porsche. Oftentimes they reach out to me and they're just looking for a thought partner or a car counselor or a car coach to assist them in their search, to give them insight, to give them a reality check on what they're thinking when it comes to buying one of these cars. I have learned a thing or two in working with these folks. It just seems like sometimes they get caught up in the emotionality of the search and that clouds their judgment, and they end up getting hurt because they don't slow down to speed up, as it were. So in the video, I'm going to give you the 5 most common mistakes, and I've also created a downloadable guide on my website, Rennthusiast.com, that can give you even more tips for protecting yourself when buying a Porsche. Along those lines, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I work very hard to give viewers information to allow you to be smarter Porsche owners. The first mistake I see people make is they fail to define their ownership goals. Are you somebody who really likes detailing your car and not driving it? Are you somebody who wants to rally the car with friends? Or are you somebody who just wants to go to Cars and Coffee? Are you somebody who wants to take your Porsche on track? You need to define that for yourself. Many people just fall in love with this idea of a specific generation of Porsche before they slow down and think through how they're going to actually use the car. So don't make that mistake. Very, very easy thing to do is to slow down a little bit, think through how you'll use the car. Trust me, you'll be happy you did that later. The second mistake I see people make, and I gotta say, I have fallen into this trap several times myself, is falling in love with a car before doing your due diligence. It's so easy to fall in love with the romantic idea of having the car in your garage. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be beautiful sitting there. You're not going to be able to resist jumping in that car every single Sunday and going for a long drive in it. If you start falling in love with that idea before you do your due diligence, you're going to make a mistake. Basically, what's happening is you've emotionally bought the car before you've protected yourself. Oftentimes, emotional attachment starts too early. The buyer begins to justify problems, explain them away. Oh, hey, that's not a really big deal. That rust under that car, that's probably just cosmoline. It's not really rust. That noise that I heard when the guy sent me the cold start video, no big deal. It's probably a normal sound. I mean, the car's gorgeous. There probably isn't anything wrong with it. All of these things start to add up, and when you fall in love with the car before you purchase it, that's a problem. So slow down, do your due diligence, then give yourself permission to fall in love with the car. The third mistake that I see guys make, they think that the PPI is going to make them bulletproof. My experience with PPIs is they inform the decision-making process. They're not always a go, no-go decision. I think a lot of people want to look to a PPI and think, hey, if I do it, I'm going to be totally fine. And in my experience too, a lot of people are just like, they do a PPI just to be able to say they did a PPI. They don't even really pay close attention to what is or isn't discovered. On a related note to the PPIs, like when you contact a shop to talk to them about conducting a PPI on a car that you're evaluating, get really specific with them to understand what you'll get as the buyer. Are you going to get a checklist? Are you going to get a written report? Are you going to get just a phone call where the guy says, hey, it's good? Are you going to get pictures or you're not going to get pictures? Be sure to be thorough in vetting the shop that's going to do the PPI, because if you think it's going to be an automatic win for you, it's just not. The next mistake I see guys make is they are shopping for a deal versus the right car. This is an old phrase. It was taught to me: buy the most expensive Porsche you can afford. Oftentimes the cheapest cars become the most expensive cars. And believe you me, I have been through this myself. The sorting process, once you buy a car, can add up. And so what you want to do is you want to buy the most expensive Porsche that you can find. You want to do really, really good due diligence on it, because condition matters. Condition matters more than a good price. So don't make that mistake. It's going to cost you in the long run. The 5th mistake that I see people make is they fall prey to social media hype around a specific generation. I kind of mentioned this before, but what happens is they don't think through what the ownership reality is going to be like when they actually buy a particular car. They fall in love with the sexy Instagram pictures. They fall in love with the YouTube videos that idiots like me put out. So what you need to do is you need to figure out the right car for you. You need to go put eyes on the type of car you think you want to chase. You want to hopefully sit inside of that car. Don't just believe what the internet tells you. I've made a lot of these mistakes myself, and that's exactly why I've included them in the guide that's available on my website. You can read through that, and hopefully it'll help you guys buy smarter. Again, subscribe to my channel. This is the kind of information I like to share. A lot of times it's based on mistakes that I've made that I just don't want to see others make. Thanks for watching.